Bill and Jessica Show.
What's up? Good morning. It's going to be partly cloudy today. And the wind and rain will move in later on. High of 70.
Heather from Atlantic General Hospital. Good morning.
Hi, Heather. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, first off, thanks for commenting on our relationship question of the day.
Thank you.
You sound
Happy to help.
quite like the relationship expert. Yeah, but obviously you're an expert a little bit more of medicine. So, again, thank you so much for checking in Atlantic General Hospital. Today we're talking about COVID booster shots. Now, I know that, these have improved over the past, year, 2 years, whatever, since, the boosters and the vaccines first came out. Tell us a little bit about, the difference from when they first came out and how the shots are now and what you guys are offering.
Okay. So the difference between the original COVID shots and what we have now, which are the bivalent boosters, is that the first series and the first booster shots were really based on what we knew about COVID at the time. So Scientists analyzed that virus. They came up with a vaccine that would minimize the severity of cases, would minimize hospitalizations, and created a vaccine. What's happened is over the past couple of years, COVID has mutated, and so that vaccine, unfortunately, has not been as effective as we would like it to be. So science once again stepped in, studied these new variants, found out what's the difference between the old or original COVID and the new COVID, and made a vaccine that covered both the original strands as well as these mutations that we've seen most recently with Omicron, and made this bivalent booster contain both virus, and it's going to help us as we go into the fall months, and we anticipate that surge, help protect us from severe COVID and hospitalization once again. So I tell people it's kind of like that flu shot that's changed up every year. We move forward doing the same thing with COVID in an effort to offer the best protection that is possible at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment, and a lot of people are so one-sided, closed-minded. I'll get the shot. I'll still get COVID, but yeah, well, at least you're not dying in the hospital. I mean, that's like the whole point of the vaccine, correct?
Correct, and that's really what's been the biggest burden on healthcare, both from a bed perspective, trying to make sure we have places to put people when they're sick with things besides COVID, but also when you look at that huge impact on doctors and nurses and the rest of the staff, that high amount of death early on was just devastating, not just for our country, but for healthcare. So yes, that's why those of us in healthcare are really pushing get vaccinated. The goal is always to not get the virus. But if you do get vaccinated, you get the virus, which is a high probability, you're going to avoid that severe or long COVID, which can be debilitating, as well as hospitalization and potential death.
So if people want to get the COVID shot, and this is a booster, correct? How can they, go ahead and do that? Do they just, can you do walk-ins, or where can they go? What do they do?
Yeah, so this is a booster, so you have to have had an original COVID shot. So it's one of the two-part series, or Johnson & Johnson, to be eligible to receive this vaccine. It has to have been 2 months since your second or last vaccine, and you can get them at pharmacies. Some primary care physicians' offices have them. There's clinics throughout the community. So we're really trying to make this accessible. At Atlantic General, you can look at our webpage under vaccines and sign up for an appointment, or look to see when we have clinics coming up to support the community.
Okay, very good, very good. Now, what if you haven't had your COVID vaccine in you just got the regular 2 shots last year? Can you still come in and get this, or is that already worn off and it's done? And what?
Yes, you don't have to have had the previous boosters to get this booster. So that's a great question. If you had it back in January of 2020, come on in. We're happy to get you up to date.
How long does this last? How long do the vaccines last? And is this something that's going to have to, you got to do every year, kind of like the regular flu shot? Because I got my flu shot yesterday, regular flu shot. They were, we had some nurses come in studio and give out the flu shot and offer it. And how we have to do that every year. So how often is this going to take place for COVID?
And that's a great question. All of us that work in infectious disease, our hope is we'll get to a yearly vaccine. We don't know for sure that we're there yet. So we're not sure this is going to be that annual vaccine. That is the goal in the future. We don't know how long this immunity is going to last, but we are hoping you get it now. You have that immunity when the surge hits, and then we can reevaluate, see what happens over the course of the next month. And great point with the flu shot. A lot of people ask me, can you get your COVID booster the same day as your flu shot? Absolutely. While you're there, let's take advantage of it. Get both of them done at the same time.
Look, in order not to get sick, you can give me 6 shots when I go in. I'm all good because I'm a big baby when it comes to getting sick. And look, give me one in one arm, one in the other. You can shoot my leg, shoot up my, well, maybe not my butt, but you can shoot anywhere else. It's all good.
Hey, what I like to hear.
What's a shot? Hey, look, and the flu shot was so easy. This is just, is there any, talk to me about some of the a lot of people were worried about the side effects. Yesterday they came in and gave me the flu shot. It was like nothing. I didn't even feel it. Didn't feel nothing after. It was what it was. How about this COVID shot? Because some people got side effects from the first original COVID shots.
So it's similar to what happened with the first shot. If you had a reaction and you go with the same brand, and that's the other thing. If you have Pfizer, you can get Moderna. If you had Moderna, you can get Pfizer. Had Johnson & Johnson, you can get either, which is a great thing. You can mix and match. That may give you a little bit more coverage depending on how you uptook that first vaccine. But if you go with the same series and you had a little bit of nausea, headache, fatigue with the first series or with the first booster, second booster, you're probably going to have those same side effects this time. They do usually lessen with each vaccine you receive as your body builds that immunity. So some people like to get it on a Friday because they know that gives them that free pass Saturday to kind of sit around on the couch and binge on some Netflix.
Okay. All
Nice.
right. Very good. And by the way, speaking of Netflix, do you watch Netflix?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes. What else do you do during a pandemic?
What are you watching right now? Just curious.
So I just finished Stranger Things. I'm a little behind the 8 ball, but just finished that and looking for something good. You got any recommendations?
Dahmer. Have you watched Jeffrey Dahmer yet?
I have not, but I've heard much about it.
Yeah. Good luck. But yeah. Yeah.
It's
wild.
something.
It's wild. So yeah, that'd be the next one. That's just me being me, asking you about Netflix. Look, Heather from AGH, thank you so much for checking in. We appreciate it. Again, if people want more information on COVID shots at Atlantic General Hospital, how can they look you guys up or make an appointment for a booster?
So we are on the web, www.agh.care/vaccine. We'll get you all the information you need.
Thank you so much for
Thank
checking
you.
in. You have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
It's time for football